let's take a moment and talk about excerpts, trackbacks, and pingbacks. 3 items, 3 issues that usually cause at least a slight amount of confusion. So here it is. I'll try and boil it all down for you. You may have noticed as we've been working on our post, writing our post and formatting it and all that good stuff, that just below this sort of main body window here, we have an excerpt field. What the heck is an excerpt? Well, it reads here, excerpts are optional handcrafted summaries of your content that can be used in your theme. Now, the idea here is that it's very simply a summary of your post. It can be like a teaser for your post, if you wish. And there's no limit on the length, but the idea is to keep them kind of short and sweet. And they can optionally be utilized by the theme that you've applied to your blog. Now, not all themes make use of them, but some themes do anyway. But the other thing that I want to mention about excerpts as well is that they replace the post's full content in your blog's RSS feed. And we'll talk more and more about RSS feeds as we kind of work our way along. But the idea here is that if someone has subscribed to my blog's RSS feed, rather than getting the full content, the full enchilada, all of the content of a particular post, they would only get the excerpt from the post, right? Kind of a nice way to keep the RSS items, the items inside your feed nice and short and sweet. But for this to work, to use excerpts inside your RSS feeds, you have to go and set a specific setting. So give this a try. Underneath your settings menu there, bottom left, pop that guy open and head into the reading category or the reading menu item there. And then right here, for each article in a feed show, rather than full text, switch it to summary. Really, that should say the post's excerpt. But anyway, that's what that is. So anyway, you can use that if you want. I'm not going to bother setting that. I'm just going to leave the full text here for now. In fact, I won't even bother clicking on Save Changes because I haven't really changed anything. So I hope that makes sense. That's what an excerpt is. Okay, now let's talk about trackbacks and pingbacks. Now, hang on. I'm going to flip back to my post here. I'm going to go back to the posts menu item and then into the what is Flash post that you and I have created here together. And as you know, if I scroll all the way down towards the bottom here, we have the discussion, allow comments, and then allow the trackbacks and pingbacks. Let's talk about trackbacks first. The first thing that you need to know about trackbacks is that they're used by older blogging tools like TypePad and Blogger and some of the older systems, some of the older blogging platforms that we have here. The idea behind trackbacks is if you mention another blog in a post, let's say, for example, you link to a blog's post, you want to let them know, right? Well, that's what a trackback is. So if you write a post that links to another blog, you can let them know about it. But in order for the trackback to work, you need to use a special trackback link that's provided by the blog that you're linking to. So there's a little bit of legwork involved. Usually this trackback link appears below the post just above the comments, and it'll say something like, trackback link or something like this. So again, it's used by older systems. In fact, I don't even really bother with it because now we have pingbacks, and pingbacks are a much more modern way to essentially handle the same thing. So you can notify a blog that you've linked to them simply by including the link in your post. So rather than using that special trackback link that I just mentioned, and you'd have to include that special link inside the content of your post, now simply by pasting in the URL to that blog post, it automatically lets them know. It automatically sends them this thing called a pingback, which notifies them that you've hooked up to them. Now, to enable pingbacks to work inside your blog, head once again into settings there on the left, and then this time into discussion, and just make sure to mark off or make sure that there's a check mark beside attempt to notify any blogs linked to from the article. So hope that makes sense. It's going to slow down posting a little bit, but that's the idea here. Now, I thought maybe what I would do is I would give you a couple of quick examples of pingbacks here. So trackbacks and pingbacks essentially are the same thing, letting blogs know that you've linked to them or that someone else is linking to you, that kind of thing. But pingbacks are a much more modern way of handling it. Okay, so I have a couple of extra browser tabs open here inside Firefox. And this is a post on 10tonbooks.com. We ran a contest recently for 10-ton Photoshop. The winner could win a copy of 10-ton Photoshop Essentials. So that was lots of fun. But what's interesting is if I scroll, we had tons of comments here. If I scroll all the way down here, we have reactions, and there's 4 reactions. 3 of them are by me, 10-ton Books, and one of them is from Arnold. So the 2 of us, Arnold and myself, each mentioned this contest on Twitter. So I put here, last day to enter our draw to win a chance for 10-ton Photoshop, and then there's the shortened URL. So that gets picked up by the blog post, and it gets added to the reactions. And here, Arnold wrote, 10-ton giveaway, there's the link, giving away 10-ton Photoshop Essentials. So there you go. So my blog post picked up on it, right? That's exactly what a pingback is. Now here's another quick example for you. This is a post that I had written for another website, Layers Magazine, and there's lots of comments in here, which is great, but you'll see in here we have some pingbacks. So there's Pingback Smart Object from Illustrator to Photoshop to Dreamweaver, Layers Magazine. And if I hover over top of that link, you can see down in the footer of my web browser, right down in this area here, you can see where the link is pointing to, right? So it's coming off of their own website. Or here's another one. This is coming off of, I think it's a German website, actually, .de, tell-them.de. So if I click on that, then it takes me to the Tell Them website, and there's the post that they created, and there's the link hooking back to the article or the video that I had created for Layers Magazine. So that's exactly how pingbacks and trackbacks function. So I hope all of that makes sense to you. The excerpts there, the trackbacks, and the pingbacks.